Hello, hello, welcome. I am Danielle Hendricks, and I'm excited to have Bianca Bailey, if I can talk today, join me and share some stories about her journey in the ag tech world. So, Bianca, if you don't mind, would you introduce yourself and the company that you're starting and what the purpose behind the company is and all the fun story behind that?
I sure can. And thank you, Danielle, for inviting me to this talk. Again, hi, everybody. My name's Dr. Bianca Bailey, and I'm the founder and CEO of Agriwater. Agriwater is a new up and coming ag tech company where we are actually designing a mobile wastewater treatment system to help farmers have the ability to treat their animal wastewater on site with our technology and turn that waste into profit, clean water, organic fertilizer, and potential carbon credits that the farmer can then use on the carbon credit market. And we've actually, we've kind of started about a year ago, and this technology actually grew out of my current, or I guess my past dissertation research at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. So that's where currently we are operating right now. And you see behind me, we're located in the University of Illinois Enterprise Works facility that houses our startup incubators here at U of I.
It's a great place to be, I feel like, for this agri-tech world where
Yes,
agriculture technology meet right here, Champaign Urbana. I love it too. I have to shout out, I am an alum as well. So you talked a little bit about like what your company does, and you started this. So do you want to talk a little bit about your role and what your journey has been so far to get to where you're at today?
Right, I would love to explain that. So my journey to get into the ag tech realm or into entrepreneurship in general is just the passion that I've had for clean water. It started back when I was in undergrad. I was president of a startup, or I guess a student-led engineering firm, and we traveled to Africa to do to do a project with a small rural agricultural community in regards to biosand filtration. So this was like a simple point of use system that this rural community could use to pour their water in, and the biosand filter technology would then treat the water and then would render it pure. So my passion for clean water has started, you know, over 10 years ago, and it has led me into completing a PhD in ag and bioengineering, where then I was able to actually see the massive amount of damage that animal wastewater is having on our environment, and also the detriment of agricultural activities, how that affects our climate, and how greenhouse gases that come from animal waste is actually affecting global warming. So all these different experiences for me have led me to be able to want to start a company that can actually make a big difference in treating animal waste so that we can reduce greenhouse gases and pollution into our water systems. So my current role as a founder and CEO with Agriwater is to make sure that this company gets off the ground, and more specifically, I'm really operating the technology and going through a phase of product development and making sure the product and the entities inside of our technology, each step is working properly, making sure I have the correct connections with people that have the knowledge to be able to make this project manifest in a successful way. And also, number one important thing, fundraising. That's that's what I'm doing right now. We actually secured our first investor as of last week, and we're very excited about that, because that means that if we get one person biting on biting on the bait, then sure enough, there'll be more to follow after. And so we're very excited to have our first investor who is helping us be able to start this front of, treating water on site of farms, and potentially, this could go into tiny homes and campers and RV sites as well, that we see this could possibly expand to.
Well, congratulations. That's so exciting. And I
Thank you.
love, I have this post-it note, and I feel like this is why people come into my life, but also why I want to share it. But it's share stories like yours, Bianca. It's one life is always influencing another. And what could we not do? Like, what are the possibilities? If we keep influencing each other and being there to share each other's stories like this and spreading the word of the great things that you're doing. I love that we're able to do that today. And I love your passion about it and how you got started. What skills or knowledge do you think it takes to be in the position that you are today? You talked a little bit about background in college, but what would you suggest for people, young women, maybe looking at doing something like this, for skills or education to look for?
Well, for skills, I would definitely say problem solving. That's the number one thing that we do here, is we have to figure out how to navigate, whether it's a technological issue or a personal issue, or just dealing with people. We have to be able to figure out how to be the best problem solvers that we can be. And so I would definitely say skills when it comes to problem solving, that's very important. Obviously, learning about technology and about water treatment and about the regulations that exist around the problem that you're trying to solve. So I guess more importantly, the know-how about regulations. So researching is a skill that has to be developed over time, but once it's done, you can basically research anything. And then through researching in a specific way, that'll then help you be a great problem solver.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think university, like your path with the university, getting your doctorate, helped you with that research skill, or was that already in you before you got started?
I definitely think that I was born with just the knack of always wanting to know. I was one of those kids that always asked the question, why? Or I'm the one raising my hand too much in class, where the professor will look over you and then go to someone else because they don't want to hear your questions anymore. So I think that's also just a natural passion that I was born with, but I definitely do attribute just the honing in on that research skill has definitely happened through the rigorous curriculums that I've been through during academia. So my bachelor's degree was in chemical engineering, and I was doing research then in nanotechnology as it relates to water treatment. Then I moved on to do my master's in environmental engineering. That's where I gained the insight on how do we actually clean our water? Where does our water come from? And when we obtain our water from, let's say, an aquifer, well, what process does it go through to get to our houses to where we have piped water? Those are questions I didn't even have the answer to before I started my master's degree. So, and that information is out there online now, thanks to the internet. We're able to kind of teach ourselves certain things that, you would normally just get, going through an academic program, but now we have access to knowledge, a wide range of that. And I guess finally, deciding to stick through a PhD program then allows you to definitely, have a focused laser idea about, what problem are you actually going to solve. So I do think that academia definitely helps with research skills, but I also know that without academia, you can still be successful. You can still be a great entrepreneur, and you can be a great problem solver without that as well.
Yeah, that's something I heard this phrase, so it's not mine, but I like to keep it multi-passionate. Like you seem like a multi-passionate type of person, but like through your program, you decided to focus in more and more on a specific problem. Does that sound right?
Yes, that sounds correct, Danielle.
Nice, nice. So, any advice that you would like to give to young women or youth that are interested in exploring the same type of path that you did, or interested in more about what you're doing?
Number one advice to me is, write a list of all the things that you're interested in and figure out different ways that you can explore each of those interests. Because for me, I was able to experience a lot of different types of jobs, job descriptions, and from that you figure out, well, I didn't really like that, or I really love doing that. Because sometimes what we think that we want to do for the rest of our lives is not something that we're actually going to do. Or when we get the opportunity to actually work in that field, we figure out it's not anything that we thought it was. So I definitely encourage you to try as many different opportunities in your interest as you can. And I would also say, mentorship is a very important step in figuring out what you want to do in life. And for me, I've had male mentors, I had female mentors, and that's been important for me because I also grew up without a mother. So the mentors actually kind of also stepped in and kind of filled that motherly role when it comes to develop myself personally as a woman in a male dominated field. That really helps out in balancing the masculine and feminine energy
Mhm.
that you have to sustain in this type of environment. Um, let's say working in groups of people, working with people. For me, I have a fun time working with other people, and that I think is also a very important skill that we should learn from a very young age, to be able to get along with other people and like communicate effectively. One program I could suggest is Girls Incorporated is a national program, after school program that teaches girls how to be strong, smart, and bold. And that was a program that I was in from the fourth grade all the way up till graduating. And they were able to offer me scholarships for school. And definitely, I suggest checking out certain programs like that, or Boys and Girls Club, because those are programs that actually they build young people up and they nurture the skills that are manifesting from the young person. And if you're one of those young people that have a passion for what you do, I would definitely say programs such as the Boys and Girls Club and Girls Inc. is definitely something that can help bring you to the next level. I want to also add, Girls Inc. was a program that introduced me to entrepreneurship at the age of 18. We actually designed a greeting business card company for people of color, and we went to New York and opened the stock market and did a business plan competition, and we won. This is all at the age of 18. So I feel like for me, entrepreneurship has been with me since the beginning of time, and that only happened through sort of a mentorship role.
That is a wonderful story. I grew up,
Yeah,
in youth programs myself, and I will say they shaped me for who I am today.
yeah.
And I am so thankful and grateful for all of those. And that sounds like it was right up your alley and able to get you to where you're at today too. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share that comes to mind that we didn't talk about today?
I guess for me, just apply for everything that you possibly can. You don't know if you're gonna win or not if you don't put your name in the hat, and that's for me something that you kind of stick to. For graduation, After graduation, I applied for like several programs for entrepreneurship. For scholarships, I applied to anything that I could apply for. And, the results will be astounding once you just put yourself out there and get out of yourself and get out of your head and just go for what you want and know that the universe is supporting you. And last but not least, I'm also a musician. I play saxophone. I started a band in the area. So never also forget the other passions you have, the creative artistry passion that you have that can actually propel the technical side of what you're doing as well. So for me, stepping into your power, be your whole self, be all who you want to be, and you'll be received in a very impactful way.
Oh, it's beautiful advice, Bianca. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I'm so glad that you shared your story. I'm glad that we're able to put this on a couple different platforms with Women in AgTech and Farms to Incubators so we can share with other people that can hear your story, and I'm hoping they'll see the inspiration that I'm seeing today too. And I know we're going to see lots of great things from you in the future. So I will be following and rooting for you, and I'm sure many more will as well.
Thank you so much, Danielle, for inviting me to this talk. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And if you'd like to hear more about Agriwater, you can visit us at www.agriwater.tech.
Perfect. Thank you again, Bianca, and we will chat with you hopefully more in the future.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.